Good morning. You're listening to WIFO FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country, 105.5 on your FM dial. It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates, Country Financial, Murphy Builder Supply, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, and First Southern Bank.
Country Financial is ranked number 1 in customer satisfaction for home insurance according to J.D. Power. Why am I sharing such big news instead of some mascot or movie star? Because at Country Financial, we don't invest in all that. We invest in our clients. Call me, Stephanie, at 912-588-1051 at Sean O'Quinn's office to learn more about Country Financial's J.D. Power award-winning home insurance.
For J.D. Power 2020 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, or Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jessup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jessup.
Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings restaurant in Jessup is now open for business, practicing social distancing, but still serving that great food that Damon's is famous for. Come inside or come through the drive-thru, but Damon's is open inside and welcomes back its customers. The menu's the same, the service is fast, and the food is fantastic, and the sauces remain the same, mild, wild, insane, or inferno. The number is the same, 588-WING, 588-9464. Damon's Restaurant on West Cherry Street in Jessup. Dining room now open for business. Come on in and enjoy a great meal today.
Hi, I'm Raymond Brown.
And I'm Mandy Yeomans. At First Southern Bank, our customers are like family. As a locally owned community bank, we're dedicated to helping our clients succeed.
We have loans for every need, whether it's personal or business. We have lines of credit, auto loans, equipment loans, and of course, we offer mortgages. Stop by our bank or call us at 912-588-1010 and see how First Southern Bank can help you.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Jessup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup. 1 minute after 8 o'clock here on this Tuesday morning, the 10th day of August. And Bob, good morning.
Good morning.
And we've got guests in the studio with us this morning. Who do we have, Bob?
We were talking gospel music. We got Mickey Tomlin and his brother in here. They got a big concert coming up Saturday night at the House of Worship. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Tomlin. How you doing, Mickey?
We're doing great, Bob. Appreciate y'all letting us come by. We hadn't been by in a while, but it's a great opportunity to do that. And we do have a concert coming up this Saturday night at 6 o'clock right there at the House of Worship. Everybody's invited. It's a benefit concert, a fundraising concert for my sister-in-law. And actually the hospital ladies, nurses and all got in behind this. And we're doing a little bit of everything, not only the fundraiser, but they bake cakes. So we got something like 20-something cakes. They're going to be doing a silent auction with that to help raise funds. But I also brought Robbie with me. Paige is one special lady, and I say that behind her back.
Robbie who?
Robbie Tomberlin.
Your brother.
My brother, Robbie,
okay.
Yeah. We got Robbie and Gary and Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
That's my three brothers.
Right.
And
y'all foursome then?
Yes, sir.
Quartet.
That's right. And we'll be doing pretty well Southern gospel. That's me. I'm not going to say that that's all them, but that's kind of what we grew up on, and we know. So that's what we'll be singing that night. And two, also, Bob, those the three of the brothers, Robbie and Gary, we all have, and myself, we've all been in Jessup as either youth pastors or music directors or associate pastors, and we've been involved in Wayne County for, this is fixing to be my 37th year that I've been in Wayne County. So I reckon I've kind of been adopted in right now. But anyway, but we're looking forward, wanting to invite everybody to come. But I'd like for Robbie, if he could, to have just a few minutes to tell a little bit of the story of what his wife has gone through, and our sister-in-law, and as I was about to say, a very special lady, Paige Lightsey Tomberlin. And this is what this concert's all about.
Okay. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I really do appreciate, I can't be here without saying thank you to my brothers. they want to do something as a benefit to my wife. And if anybody's ever been through health issues, you know what it is to be back into the doctors over and over and over. And so anyway, let me summarize very quickly for you as much as I can what Paige has been going through. She is she's been diagnosed with Crohn's, and she's been struggling for a number of years. And if anybody knows about Crohn's disease, they know that the challenge of it. And she has what's diagnosed as fistulizing Crohn's, very painful, discomfort, and constantly struggling with that. She's been diagnosed with that. Of course, we're believers, and we know that God's able to heal, and we believe that for her. And doctors have been such a beneficial part of that. So anyway, to skip forward, recently, actually back in April, we traveled to Cleveland Clinic as a referral from one of her doctors to meet with a specialist, Dr. Hull, who specializes in this specific issue that Paige is dealing with. And when she met her, she gathered 2 other doctors around us, and she told Paige, "We can help you here. We actually want to include you in a clinical trial." And so what a benefit it was to us to hear this. And so this is a clinical trial specifically for this Crohn's issue. And this has been a process that's been ongoing for a couple of years now, several years now, originally starting in Germany, where they began to treat these issues with stem cell therapy. It's a thing probably a lot of folks out there have heard of, stem cells for multiple things. So anyway, they want to include Paige, and so with that, we accepted the challenge of it. It's the answer that we need, and we believe the Lord directed our steps there, and I was sharing it with my brothers, and so the challenge of it is, of course, the benefit of clinical trial is that it doesn't cost the actual clinical trial itself, but the testing and preparation for all of it can become expensive, because you still have to pay for imaging, you still have to pay for all of the doctor's visits that you do. But the actual stem cell therapy is covered in the trial. Travel is an expense. It will be a year-long process. Starting in September, about every 6 weeks, we will travel to Cleveland, Ohio, to Cleveland Clinic for stem cell therapy for my wife. And she's been a real, I tell you, trooper through all of this. I'll just drop this in here real quick. The last 4 years has been a real challenge, but she began she's a registered nurse here at Wayne Memorial Hospital, actually has been since about 2007. And she began her transition into a new field, becoming a family nurse practitioner. She just graduated with that, which is pretty amazing considering all that she's been going through physically to actually step up and do something like this, go back to school. And so she's just finished that up, and so I'm so proud of her even through all of this challenge.
You know what's so amazing about this too is watching Paige. You never hear her complain, you never hear them ask for anything, and we're thankful to God that we've been on the giving end and not the receiving. And it's kind of tough whenever you're asking. But what's been so amazing, Butch and Bob, is how the community, not just this community, but our communities around us that we've all been involved in ministry, have stepped up, and they've just said, how can we help? And just like the hospital, the nurses that she's worked with for years now, they've stepped up and say, how can we help? Everybody has come on board with this, and we're so thankful because we know that there's so many needs out there. Just a few years ago, we walked with you, and what a miraculous thing that God did using doctors to do this. So that's what we're praying here for Paige, that here she goes to the clinic, and like Robbie was telling you, he won't tell it all, but everything except for that trial, everything comes out of their pockets. And his church has been so amazing.
I really do want to say that I appreciate Celebration Family Church, where I pastor in Baxley, where I grew up, and they have really stepped up to help us in this process as well. There's such a loving and a faithful group of people, individuals, and the church collectively have gathered around us as well to encourage and, to financially support and to spiritually and emotionally support. They're such great people, and we're thankful for them. Celebration Family Church, I could never say thank you enough for all that they have done and are doing now.
Well, and it's just like we were mentioning, Bob, what you went through with your situation, and everybody knows that. How the community stepped up. They stood with you. They prayed with you. That's our biggest thing. If folks will just step up and do what they've been doing, pray with us and stand with us and come out and be involved in the concert. Listen, we got probably one of the greatest piano players playing for us that night, and that's his style. Bruce Harris will be with us.
He can tickle them ivories, can he?
He can do it. And he's also gonna do a special request for me and several of the people, but especially for me. He does a medley of songs that he plays on the piano. And I won't give out the names, but he'll do that night. We also got a first cousin playing guitar with us and several other band members that have just volunteered to come and help us do this. So we're excited about that night, and we're looking forward. We want everybody to come. And just thank you to all those who are listening, all those in the community in this area. And we want to be a blessing. Maybe with a little bit of singing, we can be a blessing there, but we want to be a blessing to our community also.
You mentioned it's a fundraiser. Is there a cost to get in there, or are they just going to pass the hat?
No, sir. There's no fee to come, but we will pass the hat.
Yeah, donations
and we are
accepted.
going to take donations, and we're going to pass the offering bag. And we've already, matter of fact, just to thank God for it. It's been amazing at the family and friends outside of our area that cannot be here that have already sent donations, and it's been overwhelming to me that how people have reached out. We have so many areas. Robbie was in Alabama. His church has reached out to us already. Eddie has been in Kentucky, and Gary has been in Chattanooga and Tennessee. And
are all four brothers involved in the ministry?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
amazing.
sir. Have been all of
I know
our
you all
life.
sung. I didn't know you were all
Yes,
y'all
sir.
all involved in the ministry.
Yes, sir.
That's amazing.
Right now, three of us are brothers, and three of us are brothers. Three of us are pastors, and the other one that he's doing some chaplaincy work, and has been associate and music director. So we've all been involved in it most of our life. I worked the first 10 years of my life after marriage up till about 30 years. I worked in construction, believe it or not.
You work construction, Mickey?
Yes, sir. I worked big time construction at Plant Hatch, and then the Lord called us, and we started in a full-time ministry. I was doing music at the Baxley Church of God, which is our home church. They're involved with us, Jessup Church of God. And if I go to naming churches, I'm going to get in trouble. But there's so many of them that have stepped out, that have really become involved. But we were involved in those as far as ministry. But anyway, you asked that question. Yes, we are all in the ministry.
Yeah, I've got to say that there are a lot of folks in Baxley that are not part of our church, but are connected to us by heart, who have reached out to us and have been a benefit to us. Appleton County has been a blessing to us as well, and I'm thankful for them. I really am. And I want to say that I believe that this concert is really going to be a celebration of the faithfulness of God. Because if Amen. I could even begin to share, and we'll talk about it at the event Saturday night, if I could even begin to share how that the Lord directed our steps to be in Cleveland Clinic, it's really amazing, and so we're grateful for that, and we know that the Lord uses people who hear His voice. It's God's faithfulness that causes that to happen. We're thankful.
Okay, why don't you just kind of recap of what's going on Saturday night and who's going to be performing, what's going to be happening, and the reason for it, Mickey?
Right. Well, we're having a fundraiser, a benefit sing for Paige and Robbie, but for them traveling back into, and we'll open up actually with our praise team. They'll do a song or two. We got a couple of the ministers that are coming to be a part of it that'll open up and have words of prayer, and then we're going to be singing. We're going to the brothers are going to be doing a concert.
We're talking about the four Tomlin brothers.
Yes,
okay.
The four Tomlin brothers. When we say that, we don't think
including
about
Mickey, Robbie,
yep.
and the other two. All right.
Mickey, Gary, Robbie, and Eddie. That's the way we say it because I'm the oldest and Eddie's the youngest. We just go down the line.
Oh,
It's the Tomlin brothers, and let me say too, our wives, our spouses, and our family has been so involved in this, and we're thankful for that. But we invite you 6 o'clock. Saturday night, House of Worship and Ministries, 1920 Lanesbridge Road. And if you have any questions, you can call 424-0065, or you can call the church at 530-8758, and we'll be glad to give you directions or give you any information you need.
Right next to Satilla RMC on Lanesbridge Road, Highway 169 here in Jessup, this Saturday, August 14th, beginning at 6 p.m. Is that correct?
That's right. Yes, sir.
Just come in. Donations accepted to help out the Tarmelin family, Robbie and his wife, who's going through the Chrome treatments. And so it would be great to see the Tarmelin brothers all together once again performing and just having a good time with the Lord on Saturday night.
Amen. That's what we wanted to do, to celebrate, and we're thankful for that.
Thank you, Butch and Bob, for meeting with us today, giving us this opportunity.
Glad to help out. That's what we're here for, is to try to help and serve and entertain and inform.
Would you mind if I throw one more thing in there?
Now we got something else Mickey wants to mention. And I brought it up to him a little while ago, but he was going to mention it anyway. Mickey and I kind of got started at the same time back in 1992. I bought the radio station in March of 1992, moved back to my hometown and bought WLOP and WIFO, and didn't know it, but a few months later, Mickey was doing something. Let's go to it, Mickey.
That's right, 29 years ago. Actually, it was on September the 5th. That was the actual date. But we do our homecoming celebration the last Sunday in August, which this year is the 29th of August. The morning time, we're going to have an old-fashioned homecoming, sing, ministry, and everything. And it's also on the 29th. We're celebrating 29 years, and we're just excited, to be in Wayne County. Like I said, I've been here 37 years now, but 29 years at the same church, at House of Worship, and we invite everybody to come out and be with us. It'll be at 10:30 that morning, the 29th of August. Everybody's welcome.
Okay, 29th anniversary of House of Worship on the 29th of August. Sir. And so everyone's invited to that. Anything else?
No, sir, I can't think of anything except just thank you again to you guys, to Butch and Bob, and to the community, and Robbie coming with me today, and Paige, and we love our family, and we thank you again for all that you've done for our family.
Okay. We'll be back more of the world-famous Butch and Bob Show in a moment right here on Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup.
Hi, my name is Emily, and I'm 8 years old. I spend each day wondering if I have food in my tummy or if my parents leave and come home. A lot of times when they do, they are so drunk they don't even notice that I'm there. My stepdad gets really angry and takes it out on my mom. My sister and I hide in our closet until it's over. Sometimes he hits us really hard. He says what happens at home stays at home, so we aren't allowed to tell. Besides, who would listen anyway?
Nobody longs for a loving family more than a child. By becoming a part of Tri-County CASA, you can help hundreds of children who live right here in your community. Tri-County CASA is currently looking for volunteers who have a heart for helping abused and neglected children. If you'd like to help make a difference, become a volunteer. Contact Pam Holmes at Tri-County CASA at 912-367-0064.
16 minutes after 8 o'clock, you're listening to WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup, world-famous Butch and Bob Show. And, Bob, how you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Doing great?
Yep. It's always good when the governor comes to town. It's good to see him and his wife, Marty, in town. It was a good day.
Good visit yesterday?
Yeah, had a good time. Gave them a coffee mug, both of them, so they enjoyed their WIFO Fox Sports coffee mug. So.
Okay. Well, hopefully he'll have it on his desk.
Yeah. But it's always good. Like I said, the governor's in town, spoke at the Captain Joe's for the local Republican Party, had a big crowd there, and then he went to James E. Bacon. They had a round table discussion about education, and then he toured the school, and then he had a press conference right outside the school. So it was a good day. But then the rain came, and the girls' softball game got washed out. They can't get a girls' softball.
They can't get a game in for nothing,
can't get a home game in. So the next game's not till
what time was
week.
their game?
The game was scheduled at 6, but the JV was scheduled at 4.
Yeah,
that's when the rain came.
Oh, okay. I know it rained. I just couldn't remember when it rained yesterday.
I don't think it was supposed to rain yesterday, was it?
Well, we have that 30% chance. When you get dog days of summer, it's always that chance of pop-up afternoon and evening showers.
I didn't think there was any rain.
But usually they don't last long. Usually they'll come in and they're on out. Because I was got a friend of mine who's out of town, and I'm feeding his dog each afternoon. Dogs, 4 of them, each afternoon, and I fed them about I guess it was about 6:15 to 6:30, and it wasn't raining then.
Had a belly washer come through. Right,
yeah, it came through real quick. I remember that. It came through real quick, and that's what happens when you got these kind of showers. And that's 30% chance of pop-up afternoon showers. It comes in, boom, hits you hard, and then moves right on out.
The good news is they took my advice. They took the governor in his vehicle over that railroad crossing, and they didn't tell him it was a bump, so he went flying. So
did he pull out his phone right there?
He pulled out his phone right there and said, "Y'all need to come fix this." So sometimes it's good to get the governor in time. So.
Yeah. You know, the chiropractors in town say, "No, don't remove it. Don't remove it, man. We're getting a lot of business from people going over that track." People are bamming all around the side of their cars with that bump on Orange Street. I'm just kidding. It's crazy stuff. It's just, but I'm glad the governor was able to go over and maybe get some action done.
The mayor says they're supposed to be here tomorrow. So
that would be something.
We'll see. So sometimes it's good to get the governor to come to town.
Yeah, sometimes it is good. Yeah. I'm glad they took him over it. Yeah. It didn't warn him.
He was like, "What the heck is that?"
That's what we're having to deal with here. Oh, boy. All right. Well, the governor was in town. You got all those portable buildings out there at James E. Bacon as they're, adding on and reconstructing and remodeling and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of the students are having to be in those portable buildings while one part of the school is being worked on, and then they'll change it around when the time comes.
Like I said, they got a board meeting today. He always gives the
school board meeting.
Yeah, they give the capital outlay update, so we should get an update on where they are on that project as well as everything else going on.
Well, a lot of it has to do with workers, which is a shortage of, and 2, supplies. I mean, I don't know how many people you run across out there. They're building this or building that. They don't have enough workers for this. They can't find materials for that. There's just shortage of all kinds of stuff out there.
And I'm sure the weather's not helping. I mean, it's
it's dog days of summer. You're always going to have that chance of pop-up showers in the afternoon. Most of the day, it doesn't rain, but for about an hour or so, you may have some. And that's what we get. That's what we're getting. Just about every single day. But today's going to be around 92, heat index of about a little over 100. So, and then 93 tomorrow, 94 on Thursday, 94 on Friday, heat index a little over 100 with that humidity, with that 30% chance of pop-up afternoon and evening showers. It just can't help itself when it gets this hot. All that moisture goes up there and has to fall down somewhere. It just doesn't fall down all day long. It just comes in, boom, gets you good, and then heads on. All right, let's see. The Olympics are over, and USA won the most gold, and by far won the most medals. I guess you could say it was a successful Olympics for the USA teams and individuals.
Ratings were in the tank.
42% down.
Nobody's watching them.
42% down from the last Olympics down in Rio de Janeiro. And the next Olympics will just be 3 years. Next Summer Olympics will be just 3 years from now. Will be in Paris.
History was made the first time they've ever won gold in volleyball. So it's nice to see the
first one. What?
First gold medal for volleyball.
Oh, okay.
So the girls' volleyball team won the gold. So that's
There's
first
2 girls
time.
won.
No, this was the team
volleyball.
volleyball.
This was the team volleyball. I'm thinking beach volleyball.
Yeah, this was.
When you think of volleyball, I think of those babes on the beach.
This was the indoor volleyball.
This was indoor volleyball. Okay, so we won that, huh?
Yeah, this wasn't beach volleyball.
It wasn't beach volleyball, huh? Okay.
And the U.S. women's basketball team won again. I think they've won
many Olympics.
They've got a record how many games they've won in a row, like 72 wins in a row. So Sue Bird says she's finally done those. She says she won't be going back. And they looked at her and said, well, you can go to Paris. But she says she's not going to be
part of it. I want to go to Paris, huh? Okay.
But that'll be fun to watch the Olympics in Paris. That might be a nice vacation. A lot of people like to go to Paris.
Yeah, hopefully the COVID thing will be all gone by there. Hopefully we won't be in our, maybe we'll be to the Zelda variant by then. They just keep naming them, but hopefully it'll be passed on by then. But, a lot of it has to do with protections and vaccines and stuff like that. So hopefully by then it was terrible to hear that, Reba McEntire made her announcement yesterday that her and her boyfriend are both COVID positive and are quarantined themselves, even though they did get fully vaccinated. I think less than 5% of the folks, I think it's about 5% of the folks who are vaccinated are getting the symptoms. And her boyfriend just happened to get that. And of course, the Winter Olympics are coming up this February. can't remember where it's at, but the Winter Olympics coming up this February, since they years ago staggered the Olympics where you got the winter one, and then 2 years later you got the summer one.
Over 100 people showed up last Friday at the hospital for that vaccine, and they're doing another one next Friday, not this Friday, but the following Fridays. So
that'd be the 20th then.
They said that'll be the final community-wide event. So.
Well, that was more than twice the amount that showed up. It was 40-something on the first one and over 100 on the second one, so more than twice as many people showed up and saying, this Delta variant just it's packing the punch. It's COVID on steroids, man. Let's get vaccinated.
And everybody's encouraging people to get vaccinated. I mean, that's the one common thing, because they're calling it the pandemic of the unvaccinated. So,
Just talk to your health. Talk to your doctor. You take the politics out of it. And just go to your doctor and say, "Hey, should I get the vaccine?" And see what he says.
And
or
that was the governor's message yesterday. He said, "Look, just don't take anybody's advice. Don't listen to anybody. Just call your doctor."
Yeah, call your doctor. Yeah, he or she, or let you know what needs to be done. And just like any other medical situation we go through, we go to our doctor. And if you're trying to protect yourself here, let your doctor let you know what is the best thing for you. And take all the hearsay out of it, all the politics out of it, all the armchair quarterbacks on social media who think they know it all. Yeah, talk to your doctor. Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO, 105.5 FM in Jessup, world famous Butch and Bob Show here for this Tuesday morning, the 10th day of August. And Bob, now the Olympics are over, I guess our focus is starting to look toward football that begins real soon, right?
College, pro, high school, football starts up. So they've already had a couple of preseason games. So I see 27,000 fans in Atlanta Saturday to watch the Falcons open day camp. So there's a lot of excitement, and a lot of people excited about having people in the stadiums again. So we'll look forward to that.
I was watching something over the weekend. It was a documentary on the making of Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner that was made like 30-something years ago. I think it was 88 is when that came out. And this was a 30th anniversary documentary of it. Okay, it was 30 years later, so I guess that would have been 2018. And it was very interesting to see and hear how that movie was put together, how it still they still have the original field there in that front yard. And of course, a few years ago, the Major League Baseball built a small stadium, like for minor league stuff, but still held a professional baseball game there close to there. But you can go right now the original owner of the farm, who sold it back in the teens, never charged for that. All those years, people could come there and see the Field of Dreams and run the bases and do all that kind of stuff and just feel the spirit of what went on there. Now, I don't know about the new owner, but I know the old owner never charged for it, that farmer.
That movie still holds up 30 years later. It's great.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie. I mean, you talk to the actor. They had the interviews with the actors who were in there, and how the story came together, and how they picked that particular farm. We're looking for a farm in Iowa, and one of the producers was there driving the back roads of Iowa trying to find that perfect farm that they could have the house, the barn, and where they could put the field right out there, either in the front yard or backyard. They really wanted the front yard. And where they could put corn around it, and they talked about growing the corn. That was real corn there. That wasn't, and because this is '88, you couldn't have fake corn back then. You can do it today with the graphics, but back then, and they were having a drought. And they show pictures. The corn wasn't going anywhere, and then they brought in some irrigation and stuff like that. Next thing you know, the corn grew so tall that in one of the scenes there, when Kevin Costner's in the corn, he's actually up on Coke crates. He's up on crates to make his head hot enough so you can see him in the picture. That's how tall that corn got. And then that scene where you had Shoeless Joe say, "Is this heaven?" And Kevin Costner said, "No, this is Iowa." If you see that fog in the background and all that, that's real fog. They had already filmed that day for other scenes and so forth, and then that fog came in. It was getting close to sunset, and one of the directors said, "We got to use this scene for that Is This Heaven scene," And so they had to go find Ray Liotta I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He was at a bar somewhere there nearby, one of the towns. They had to go get off the bar stool and bring him back because that was just a perfect scene for that. So many, it's like most movies. Movies are not shot in order. Sometimes they'll shoot the last scene first, and and of course they shoot the far away scenes for a while. Then they'll come back and shoot the close up scenes. It's all pieced and mangled together. It's not just one continuous action. And so when the actors and all that, they get there to the premiere, that'll be the first time they've ever seen the movie put together in order with the sound effects, with the visual effects and all that. So they get the experience because all they're doing is just standing there in each scene reading their lines. And it was just great to see how that movie was put together and the effect it still has on people today, 30 years later, or 30-something years later now. Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner. James Earl Jones. It's just a great movie. Just one of those good baseball movies.
There's still a lot of people think Shoeless Joe should be in the Hall of Fame. Like I said, they don't think he had. You watch that movie, 8 Men Out,
Mm-hmm.
He had a great World Series, so he definitely wasn't throwing any games, but he
knew about it.
He got tied in with all.
Yeah, he knew about it, and he was guilty by association, basically.
He didn't take any payment.
No,
but he still got banned. So let Shoeless Joe in, let Pete in. Let's move on.
Move on, huh? Yeah. Well, I guess they did the ultimate sin for baseball, which is throwing a game, betting on games and stuff like that. That's the ultimate sin that baseball does not want to happen, and can't seem to forgive.
Now they're encouraging everybody to bet on baseball.
Everybody bets on baseball now, but the players can't do it. It is amazing to me to see how things have changed through the years.
Major League Baseball's making money off it, but they won't let Pete in, so whatever.
Yeah. Do you think Pete would be in if he would have just come right out and said, yeah, I did it, I'm sorry, I was guilty, or do you think because he'd lied about it for like 20 years before he finally admitted to it?
Well, that didn't help. I don't know if I don't know. They forgive all these guys who were on steroids. They get a pass when they come out and say they did it.
Yeah.
So who knows? Like I said Alex Rodriguez still working in baseball. He admitted he was a big user of PEDs, so but he's still the face of Major League Baseball on some of these networks. So who knows? But I just like to see Pete get in eventually. I said all-time hit leader
Charlie Hustle.
I said he was fun to watch growing up as a kid. I said my grandfather loved him. My grandfather said that's how you play it. You'd see how he runs to the base even when he walks. I remember him drilling. He hustles. So he doesn't. Anybody can hustle. I remember my grandfather just giving me watch him play. Watch out.
That's how you do it.
Watch out. He gives 110% every time he's up there. So he was fun to watch.
Yep.
Pistol Pete.
Pistol Pete? I thought that was a basketball player.
That's basketball, but
he was Charlie Hustle.
Charlie Hustle.
Charlie Hustle was Pete Rose.
People still called him Pistol. Some called him Pistol Pete.
Did they?
Yeah, if you read his book.
Okay, maybe they did. So you had the basketball player and the baseball player called that. All right. Yep, good player. Just couldn't help himself sometimes.
He's still making money though.
Yep, still making that money.
They won't let him in the Hall of Fame, but he sits outside the Hall of Fame and signs autographs and takes pictures. He's still camped at Cooperstown.
Yeah. All right, Bob, our time is up. Anything else? All right, have a good day. All right, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO, 105.5 FM in Jessup, brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates, Country Financial, Murphy Builder Supply, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, and First Southern Bank.